I am the master of myself. I will no longer seek out excuses. I will only look for the best outcome and react accordingly. If someone angers me, I am responsible for how I react to them. So I will seek the best outcome and react accordingly. Life will always deal you a better hand if you look out for the best outcome and pursue it. Remember today that any person capable of angering you becomes your master. By reacting in anger, they win. Good decisions are not made of anger. When a person or situation makes you feel angry, you must take a step away and let it pass. A better decision will be made later when your anger is gone. I am strong enough to face all the challenges and adversity that life will throw at me. I am unable to change many difficulties that will enter my life. I can, however, change the way they affect me. I can use my strength to pass through adversity and use the lessons learned to help myself and others around me. Remember today to lead by example. Don't tell people, show them. You could spend a lifetime waiting for that someone to do that thing, or you could be that someone today, now. And surely, if you want to see more kindness in the world, then you should put it into the world. The only thing waiting does is put more idleness into the world. Remember today to be an island in a sea of craziness. You cannot control these outward forces. You can, however, be the best version of yourself. Someone who is prepared for the outcome, someone who is ready to accept the storm. It is in this acceptance that you become an island. The waves may crash over you, but you won't drown. Others will gain hope from you. Remember today this quote by Confucius: "We have two lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one." Stop waiting for that dream life you have in your head and start today. Appreciate the life you have now. Understand that this is a life you get to live. You can improve it, but you have to accept it.
Remember today that you can endure what you must, and you must enjoy what you can. Remind yourself of this quote by Richard Nixon. Only if you have been in the deepest valley can you ever know how magnificent it is to be on the highest mountain. If you are going through struggle, pain, adversity, or all of them at once, just know that you can endure. You will gain strength, wisdom, and perspective from this. The most beautiful souls have been born out of flames.
Remind yourself today to stop overanalyzing events and situations. What happens has happened. No amount of analysis, anxiety, or self-hatred will change the truth. You have to move on. You have to live your life now, in the present. Don't get stuck in the past, and don't long for the future. We are products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners of it. Rick Warren. Remember today that you must look at your situation as if you were an outsider, without bias. Before you react, you must see from an unbiased point of view. It is okay to be wrong, and it is of great character to be able to admit your mistakes and downfalls. Once you accept them, then you are able to fix them. It is even true that sometimes you may be the villain, but while you hold bias, you will never see the truth.
Remember that the people you will face today may be rude, ignorant, and dishonest. Don't expect to never encounter these people, and don't place the balance of your well-being in their actions. Instead, seek to learn patience, honesty, empathy, and kindness, so encounters with these people will leave you with wisdom and experience. At the day's end, you may have encountered 3 people who taught you patience by attempting to irritate you.
Remember today in everything you do the 4 Stoic virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. When you're unsure how you should act or direct yourself, let these virtues guide you. Remember, as Cicero once said, justice is the crowning glory of the virtues. Don't be blinded by your own ego and look towards these 4 virtues.
Remember today that you learn nothing when you speak, but you learn when you listen. Try to listen more. Truly listen to what people say. Can you understand them and their actions without any bias? Can you show them more empathy? Can you learn from and understand even the people you dislike? Remember today that when you feel like procrastinating, you should first question yourself and your actions. Do you really wake up every morning and go to sleep every night excited at the idea of scrolling through Twitter? What then is it that does bring you fulfillment? Learning, helping others, teaching, or anything else? Do these leave you feeling good? Why then waste your time scrolling through pages of models who digitally manipulate themselves? This does no good for you. Think before you act, especially if you are angry. You cannot take back a stone once it has been thrown. Once your character is tarnished, the damage is done. It takes years to build your character, yet it can be taken down by your own anger in seconds. Is anger really the best reaction? Does acting out of anger really benefit you? It seems you only stoop down to their level and lose integrity.
Remember today what Viktor Frankl once said. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Remember this quote in all situations. If you are angered, then remember not to let them steal your dignity. You are good, and that cannot be taken away. Remember today that focused attention is infinitely more valuable than an idle mind. In the morning, write down your goals for the day. The goals that if you complete them, you'll feel accomplished. Now give these goals your undivided attention. Try to accomplish them to the best of your ability. You will achieve your day's work a lot faster than you once thought.
Remember today that the pain of discipline is much less than the pain of regret. While you are at home, you may feel like procrastinating, but remember that you won't get this time back. Use this time for self-improvement, reflection, education, and helping others.
The day that nothing is under our control, except our own actions. Therefore you should not have expectations for the world to change. You should work on changing yourself. Your actions speak louder than words, and if you want others to change, then you must change yourself and lead the way. Stop waiting for that someone. Be that someone.
Remember today, when you feel like procrastinating or acting on negative impulses, the pain of discipline is much less than the pain of regret. The rewards of discipline are much more than that of greed. The pleasure from acting out these impulses is fleeting and leads to feelings of guilt. You may feel like procrastinating, but remember that you won't get this time back. Use your time for self-improvement, reflection, education, and helping others.
Remember today that your mistakes and circumstances do not define you, and they should not have control over your actions today. You can choose to do good now, and choose to be good now. That is how you will be defined. You are a good person as you are a good person today. Don't be held back by your past, and don't let others' perception of you hold you back.
Remember today not to sabotage your future for momentary comfort and pleasure. If you burn down your home to keep warm, tomorrow you will be without a home and you'll still be cold. Your future self is just you, but living with the circumstances of your present actions. Make the right decision so your future self is in a better position than you are now. Remember today that all the hard times you have been through, the adversities you have now passed, they have left you. What remains is the wisdom and strength that you have acquired. Hardships will pass, but their lessons will always remain. Remember this if you're going through difficult times. Remember today that you will never improve yourself if you won't admit that you have flaws. There is strength in admitting that you may be the problem. There is strength in eliminating and working on your weaknesses. Don't be held back by your own ignorance. Remember today that putting other people down won't take you any higher. In fact, it is the opposite. Holding hate for someone will only make you heavier. Despising others won't make you like yourself more. It can only bring more self-hatred. The enemy wins by living in your mind. Remember today that it is the truth you are after. It is personal progress that you seek. If someone were to lambaste you about your actions or beliefs, if you were called out on your mistakes, if they claim you are wrong, that you have the wrong perspective, ignore their aggression and rudeness, but look into their remarks without bias. Is there truth to what they say? Can you use this as a chance to grow? Remember that you have access to infinite information and education that even kings and leaders of great civilizations could only dream of. There is, however, another side where they bid for your attention. This great tool is worthless if you let them distract you. Don't be distracted. Don't procrastinate. Remember today that holding on to hate will never help you. Like a great weight, all it will do is hold you back. All times the hatred you hold will hang on to you. Make efforts to let go of this hatred, not for them, but for you. Let go of this burden. Clear your mind. Stay positive. Sometimes you don't even realize you're blocking your own blessings by thinking negatively and holding on to the past. Learn to let go. Remember today that whatever you seek, you will see. If you seek out anger, you will find it. If you seek out doubt, it will surround you. I ask you then to seek out the good. Seek out the helpers. Look for the answers to your questions, and you will find them. Remember this quote by Zan Oku. May the flowers remind us why the rain was so necessary. Don't be afraid of challenge. Don't be afraid of change. These can both give way to growth and development. Be afraid of comfort and stagnation. It is in the stagnation that the mold grows, and what is living will slowly decay. What was once good is now lost. Embrace change and challenge. Accept growth. Remember today that your self-worth is not dependent on what other people say or think about you. Your self-worth is dependent only on you. What people say about you is usually a reflection of themselves. Enter people's minds and you'll find the judges you're so afraid of and how judiciously they judge themselves. Remember today that you don't control the world. Instead of trying to avoid obstacles, stresses, and problems, try seek these as opportunities to learn. A confrontation with an ignorant person can be a chance to learn patience. Life will always throw these obstacles at you, so you may as well use them as a lesson and a chance to grow. Busy traffic can be a chance to learn calmness, and this knowledge will transfer into other situations in your life.
Remember today this quote by Marcus Aurelius. Have I done something for the common good? Then I share in the benefits. To stay centered on that, not to give up. Just by doing good, you make yourself a better person. You put more good into the world, and you pass on positivity to others. The opposite is also true, so before acting in anger, take a step back from the situation and look at the bigger picture. Remember today that you learn nothing when you speak. You only repeat to others what you already know. The key is to listen and observe. People who think they know all have prematurely finished education and will live a life of ignorance. Bruce Lee once said, "A wise man can learn more from a foolish question than a fool can learn from a wise answer." Remember today that your mind is like a fire. Your thoughts and your actions are fuel. Whatever you feed to the fire will grow, and the more you feed, the bigger the flames will get. Change your self-talk from negative to positive. It is the first step in the right direction. It is important that you take care of yourself as you would do to someone you love. Slowly but surely the flames of negativity will die down.
Remember today that if there is no enemy within, then the enemy outside can do us no harm. It is often your own internal dialogue which can be your worst critic. Regardless of your circumstances, You can still choose to fill your head with positive or negative, knowledge or ignorance. Your thoughts become actions. Your actions can change your life. Start with good thoughts. It's likely over time to lead to good actions.
Remember today this quote by Epictetus. Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. The world has done its own thing long before you were born, and will go on the same way many years after you're gone. Even though the world does not care about your emotion, it doesn't mean you should stop caring.
Today I may be in isolation, but regardless of how I spend my day, the time will pass. I know that if the time will pass regardless of how I act, isn't it better that I spend this time learning, helping, and growing? It is in isolation that a caterpillar gets its wings. Remember today that struggle and pain are like waves of the sea. Always they ebb and flow. Waves may crash over you and it may seem impossible to breathe. Always remember they will calm and you will see the sunset on the horizon. Through life you will learn to swim and the waves won't feel so bad. Think of this if you are currently in a storm.
Remember that the natural process of becoming an expert starts with you being a beginner. Beginners fail frequently, make mistakes and struggle. Why then are you afraid to start on your journey of betterment? Whichever path you take, you will start as a beginner. Accept that you will be a beginner and accept that you will make all the mistakes as a beginner. Fear holds most people back. Once you let go of this fear, you are free.
I understand that today I will face challenges that can knock me down, knock me back, or ruin my day. It is possible that I can use them as an opportunity to learn and improve. It is only me that has control over how it affects my life. Only I can change the outcome. No amount of anxiety makes any difference to anything that is going to happen. Today, you must remember this quote. Think about it and take a deep breath. Only pay attention to the things in your life that you have the power to improve. Alan Watts once said that.
Remember today that you will face challenges and obstacles outside of your control. You will accept them like you accept the rains. You can't stop these challenges. You can't stop the rain. You can, however, control your actions and perspective. Just like an umbrella in the rain, a strong mind in adversity will prevail. The rain is still there, but you understand it's not there to ruin your day. It's there to give life to the beautiful flowers.
Epictetus once said that it's impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. So start today and each day that follows with an open mind. Discard your ignorance. Know that you won't learn anything new by thinking that you are always right. You will learn a lot more from listening than you ever will from talking.
Remind yourself today not to worry about the future. Instead, focus on today. Do what you can to improve the present. A better present ensures a better future. Don't hope that things change one day. Make today that day to change. Every day that follows will be led by a better you with better circumstances and a better foundation. Look after yourself now, so that your future self will be healthier and more positive, in a better position to help the world.
Everyone likes the idea of changing the world, waiting for someone to help. Why don't we be that someone? We can be our own help. We can be the change we wish to see. Don't hope that things get better by themselves. Make yourself better, and that will drastically improve the world around you. You gain a better understanding and perception of the world. Remember today that your self-worth is not dependent on the opinions of other people. Your character is not changed by what they say. A diamond does not lose its shine if one claims it is dull. Your self-worth is dependent on you and only you. Never wait for others' judgment to dictate how you should feel about yourself. Be kind to yourself in thoughts and in actions. I know that today I will face challenges. These challenges may knock me down, knock me back, or even ruin my day. If I cannot stop these hardships, then I can only change my reaction to them. They will always happen, and I can either give up and let them ruin my life further, or it is possible that I can use them as an opportunity to learn and improve. It is only me that has control over how it affects my life. Only I can change the outcome.
I will take on every challenge that I am presented with today. No matter how difficult the challenge is, I will meet it with a calm mind. I understand that these challenges are a natural part of the world. It is foolish to try and stop the world, but you can greet it. You can meet it with enthusiasm and deal with it to the best of your ability. Remember today that nothing is under our control except our own actions. Therefore you should not have expectations for the world to change. You should work on changing yourself. Your actions speak louder than words, and if you want others to change, then you must change yourself and lead the way. Stop waiting for that someone. Be that someone. Remember today to stop talking about what a good person should be and just be one. Don't waste time criticizing the flaws of others. Fix your own flaws and lead by example. No good comes from knocking down others. The good comes from helping them up. Less shaming, less critiquing, more helping and more kindness. I am ready to take on the challenges that today will throw at me. I am aware that the day may knock me back or even knock me down, but I am ready. I understand that each day I have lived and each day that follows has its own obstacles. Because of this knowledge I am prepared for the challenges, and I can use them as a chance to learn or build character. Remember today to take criticism and comments in a constructive manner. What can you learn from this criticism? Is there any truth to it? Is the person trying to help you? Or does it only reflect their own issues? Remember today this quote by Dostoevsky: "The darker the night, the brighter the stars." When you feel like the nights are too dark, try to remember that there will be a brighter day. You can endure what you must, and you must enjoy what you can. Remember today that procrastination is not proof of laziness. Procrastination is only a bad habit. A habit of gaining stimulus through a quicker and more certain process. Hard-working, smart and successful people still have bad habits. Just like any other habit, the longer you do it, it is harder to kick. Start to combat procrastination now. Choose something that will improve your life and bring long-term gratitude. Remember today that everyone is going through a tragedy. It is true that for all the beauty in the world, there is also sadness. This is life. We have no way of changing this. It is also true that life goes on and day by day we get better. Consider before you judge that others are struggling, and so are you. Remember today that when others are rude to you, it is only a reflection of their own issues. Ask yourself if their behavior is due to another reason. If they appear rude, then maybe they are shy or unwell. Remain unbiased. Try to be more empathetic. It may help the situation. Remember today that you learn nothing when you speak. You only repeat to others what you already know. The key is to listen and observe. People who think they know all have prematurely finished education and will live a life of ignorance. Bruce Lee once said, "A man can learn more from a foolish question than a fool can learn from a wise answer." Remember today what Viktor Frankl once said: "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." Remember this quote in all situations. If you're angered, then remember not to let them steal your dignity. You are good, and that cannot be taken away. Remember today that you must look at your situation as if you were an outsider, without bias. Before you react, you must see from an unbiased point of view. It is okay to be wrong, and it is of great character to be able to admit your mistakes and downfalls. Once you accept them, then you are able to fix them. It is even true that sometimes you may be the villain. But while you hold bias, you will never see the truth. Remember today that nothing is more valuable than your time, for it is irretrievable. Putting things off is the biggest waste of life, as it denies us the present by promising the future. If it is important to do, then do it. Think of all the things you've put off in your life and never got around to. Don't let the things that are important to you now be added to that list. Leo Tolstoy once said, "Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one of changing himself." Remember this today. Don't hope that things get better by themselves. Make yourself better, and that will drastically improve the world around you. You will have a better understanding and perception of the world. Remember today to stop and ask yourself if what you are doing is necessary. Is it important that you do it? Is there something else you could be doing? Let go of the things that stress you. If it is not necessary to do, then let go, and let go of the stress that it holds over you. Is it necessary? What is important? Remember these two questions. Remember today the judgment you fear so much. Is it the judgment of these people that holds you back from your dreams? Does their judgment make you hide your true character, your true feeling? Look at these people and understand that they are just like you, a person. They don't judge you, just like you don't judge them. They worry about self just as much as you do. Remember today not to expect something to happen a certain way. More importantly, don't put hope in an expectation. It will happen as it should, according to its own nature. Therefore, it is more common that your expectations won't be met and you'll be disappointed. If it is out of your control, then take it as it is, without expectation. Remember today what Socrates said: contentment is natural wealth. You will always be poor if you desire more. The quickest way to riches is to remove your greed. He who is content with the least is also the richest. Try to remember this when you get yourself down in desiring something you don't have. Remember today that if you want to start anything new, you must first accept being a beginner. Beginners may fail and embarrass themselves regularly. This is only natural. Once you understand that this is the path to improvement, you will feel more comfort in starting. Don't be afraid, as this is the path you must take to growth or even mastery.